All right, everybody, what is going on? Hope you guys are having a good afternoon out there. And got a little bit of bad news in this video, although I understand that, this is a Seahawks channel. Pretty much everybody who watches these videos is a Seahawks fan. So on some level, I get that this isn't really our concern anymore. This isn't really our business. And it's not like direct bad news, but I do on some level look at this kind of thing and I say, "Oh, that is unfortunate. That is tragic." And I feel connected to it even if I'm in a direct sense anyway, not anymore. So we got an injury of a former Seattle Seahawk here, guy who was a Seattle Seahawk, what, 6 months ago? So yeah, I know he's not here anymore, but I felt something here. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. And overall, I think that while it is okay, so Coby Bryant played out his rookie contract with the Seahawks, played out 4 seasons, and then he moved on to another team, signed with them, got a big contract, 3 years, 40 million, helped this team win a Super Bowl, helped this team get back to an elite level in the post Russell Wilson and then post Pete Carroll era. And it's not like he ever caused a problem. He played multiple positions on this team. He moved around early in his career, trying to find a place where he could help the team win. And ultimately, he was a starter on a team that won the Super Bowl. So, as much as I think we as fans are almost, I don't even know the correct word to put it, we are instinctively pulled to diminish and even sometimes disparage players that leave our favorite team because ultimately we're rooting for the team, not the player. I get that. But Coby Bryant is somebody that I'm not seeing any real animosity towards from this fan base. I don't see people disparaging him. I think that people correctly evaluate that he's a good or very good, but not quite great safety. I think people have a pretty good handle on the fact that he is a quality player who just isn't worth keeping around in your core if it means losing somebody else. So I never got if you look around the fan base this offseason and you see the way people talk about Ken Walker or Reek Woolen, there's definite animosity there and definite disparaging of those two players in a way that kind of surprises me, but I don't see that with Coby Bryant. So hopefully you guys watching this video will get what I'm saying when I say that even though he's not our player anymore, I still look at this and go, well, that's not cool. That's not what I want to see. So Coby Bryant grabbed his left knee during a one-on-one rep versus Cole Kmet early this morning, of course, in training camp for the Chicago Bears. And players gathered around him and he was upset and he was emotional. I think he threw his helmet at one point. He felt like something went really badly. So it looked like it could be the worst case scenario at first, right? It looked like it could be a disaster. And I think that is a reasonable assumption to make when you are dealing with these kinds of things. Now, Romo Dunzier did come out on the Up and Adams show and say that he should be fine. Didn't think it was a big problem. Now, Romo Dunzier is not a doctor, right? But it was at the very least a positive sentiment from him. So we could hope that he was correct. And as it turns out, he is kind of, sort of correct-ish, but not really. Because Coby Bryant's going to miss some time. Expected to miss 8 to 10 weeks. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer. Best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today and remember to always gamble responsibly. So that I don't know if I would say being out 8 to 10 weeks with a hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture is fine. Like, I wouldn't call that fine, but at least it's not a ligament tear. At least it's not a season ender. No surgery, which is big, but I don't know if I'd call him fine. So that is going to be one former Seahawk, one guy that helped this team win the Super Bowl last year, who is going to be a little bit harder to monitor in the 2026 season because he's going to miss a bunch of games. So, yeah, I understand he's not our player anymore. I know this doesn't really seem like a Seahawks related topic, but at the same time, especially with a guy like Coby, who was never anything but a good soldier. There was never any sense that he was prickly because he wasn't getting paid. He didn't cause problems. I mean, he didn't play perfectly, of course, but overall, I don't think there was any sense of like, oh man, I'm mad at that guy because he asked for too much money or anything like that. I think people were cool with him. So yeah, Coby Bryant gonna miss at least the first part of the season. Now, one interesting little side note here would be you take a look at the Bears schedule. So 8 to 10 weeks, right? 8 to 10 weeks. 8 weeks would mean he gets back around the time they play the Jets on October 4th. That would be like the best case scenario. Maybe he makes it back for Philly on September 28th. I think that would be exactly 8 weeks, but obviously that's the very best case if this timeline is correct. So we'll say the comfortable best case scenario is the Jets game, but then you push it out to about 10 weeks, which is apparently the worst possibility here. And then you're pushing it out to the game against the Falcons in week 6. And if you miss that one, then the next game's a Thursday night game. And a lot of the time, a team will protect their players on Thursday night. So there is a scenario, and it's not at all unrealistic, where his first game as a Bear is in Seattle Monday, November 2nd. That's not impossible. That would be a little less, no, it would be about 12 weeks at that point. So entirely possible he ends up making his return against the team that drafted him and the team that he played for and the team that he won a Super Bowl with. So I guess that would be fun if that were to play out that way. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. But yeah, that's one former Seattle Seahawk that is, I mean, he got paid, right? So for him, at least he got paid first, but that's one former Seattle Seahawk that is having their season start off in a way that they'd probably not prefer. I imagine that I imagine that even though Coby got paid, he still wants to play football, still wants to have a good long career, and this is not helping. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's kind of a bummer because again, I want to stress there's no, there's no element here of like, oh, we're going to get a better draft pick now from the Bears because we don't have a Bears draft pick. There's no element of, oh, we want to see Coby Bryant do badly because we don't like him. At least I don't think so. I don't think people dislike Coby Bryant. At worst, he wasn't an amazing player, right? Ty Okada might be about as good, maybe a little bit better, depending on who you ask, but I don't think that's any reason to dislike a guy. All right. So see you guys later. Go Hawks. We'll see if something else happens later today. I know there's a practice, but beyond that, we'll see if things end up moving at all. All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks.